What up, ETE Squad? It's your boy Phoenix.
And your girl, Majesty Moore.
And we're back with another video. Today, we're going to actually talk on the subject of relationships. And we have two special guests. They're actually family, and we're excited to have this conversation with them. We want to introduce to you guys Crissy and Jake. Or should I just use the real name? I didn't know.
No, Crissy is good.
Okay. Got Crissy and Jake. Cool. So we'll hop right into the question.
Are y'all ready? Because it's about to
ready.
Damn. Okay. No, it'll be fun, I promise. Okay, so first question. How long have y'all been together?
Ooh.
What do you mean?
It was like...
We've been together for a year and a half almost. Yeah.
Okay.
Got you. Jake knew that. He was just letting you answer. That's all.
Yeah, okay.
I got you, Jake. It's cool.
All right, so here's a question that I have. Were there any challenges that you guys faced in your relationship early on, considering that you guys have an interracial relationship?
So one of the first days that me and Jake were together, probably the first week, because we got together in February, and that's Black History Month. So I was on the board for everything with Black History Month. And so maybe 3 days after me and Jake had got together, we had people from middle schools coming to visit the school. And so I was at Jake's dorm, and we were walking out together. And as we were walking out together, all of the people that were there, all the guests that were on campus that day, literally watched me and Jake come out of the dorm together. And so everyone was staring at us. I had on my dashiki, and
about as wide as they come.
Yeah, and so it was really awkward, walking out, because literally everyone stared at us while we were on our way to class. Yeah.
I'm from Houston. I don't see an issue with us being together and just us walking around, us doing our thing, being in a small little world that we have together. Just kind of broken when people would stare at us from either Black or white races. It was different for me. I never really experienced that, so something new, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, especially when we went to the mall. When we went to the mall, definitely everyone was staring at us.
And I felt like it was white people looking at me in a weird way, and
Black people looking at me in a weird way. So
that was the weird thing.
Yeah, so we got it from both sides.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm and it's funny too, because I will say for me, if I take Chris kids somewhere, so I mean, and it's so funny. I don't know. I feel like some people should just ask rather than just stare and try to look, try to face. You can tell they're trying to figure it out. It's just ask the question. Are these your children? No, they're my nieces and nephews. Thank you. Good day. Let's move on.
Me with London, because London's so white. She looks white. 100% white. So whenever I'm just with her, we definitely people give us weird looks how are you with this baby? Is this your baby?
Yeah.
What is going on?
None of your business. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Okay, so how long before your relationship, I guess starting in the beginning, how long before did y'all become serious, or want to become serious rather? When did y'all know, you know what? I think I like you. Come on.
We had been friends for a long time before we were actually a couple.
Yeah.
So we probably been friends for 6, 7 months.
Yeah, we're in the same little friendship group, and so that's how I ended up meeting Jake, because Jake was friends with one of my friends, And so we just hung out as a group a lot. And so then me and Jake would hang out. And then we just ended up together.
Right from the start, it was something like we knew we were exclusive with each other.
And like even in our little friendship group, like everyone knew that we liked each other except us. Like
I had a crush on her for like.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like, yo, you know, like Crissy likes them. And so I was like, all right. So that was happening. So
that's normally how it is. Everybody else around you know, and you
you're like totally clueless to the fact. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
We literally did. We did the same thing. Literally the same thing. My sister, I think at the time she was what, 10, 12, 10, 11, and like, cause we you know grew up in church together, so that's how we met, was in church. And so when my sister would always, like, his friends and my friends were all like, we all hung together, whatever. My sister, mind you, 10 years old, she writes him this letter, basically saying like, my sister likes you. She's not gonna tell you. You should just ask her out, and she'll say yes. Like,
and we legit. We still have the letter.
Yes.
Oh my God.
She drew a robot on the back of the paper. Like, she was drawing, and I guess she was like, hey, I'm going to write him this letter.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's so cool.
That's funny.
Oh, real quick. Where's the...
I'll get it. It's in the room.
Charger. Oh, we had a mishap. We're going to have to edit this part out.
You gotta move this stuff. Right here.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay.
Are you good?
We're talking.
We're talking about answering stuff.
All right, so this next question is actually a pretty cool question because you're new parents. So we want to know, like, did having a child change the dynamic of the relationship?
So I had got pregnant like early in our relationship. So we didn't really have a long time that we weren't parents.
Yeah.
So, but it still definitely changed like over time. It definitely helped with communication, I think, because when you have a child, like you all have to relate everything. So communication was really good. I think we both kind of became more understanding with each other, like more patient with each other. So
I feel like we both stepped up.
Yeah.
I feel like for me in high school, my first year of college, I was just this little kid trying to figure it out. And I feel like as soon as we got the news, I feel like a new chapter for me opened. I really stepped up. I feel like I took Chris. We did all this research and found our job. We did all this stuff to make it work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think it definitely helped us grow together.
Yeah.
More. I think if we didn't have London, obviously we would still be growing together, but I think this definitely helped and made it happen more in sync with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that makes sense because, like, I know that, especially with you two, y'all's relationship is like so cool because like y'all are both accepting of each other, and it's like you can tell, you know, we've been around you guys since the beginning, so just to see that nothing really, like, as far as like from my perspective, nothing really changed, you know, because when we first met Jake, you weren't pregnant, you know, so and it just and over time, you know, you became pregnant and everything, and it just seemed like everything
it's
was
like Jake's always been around. Like
like literally he fits in like perfectly with the family. So it definitely is like cool to see that in certain relationships there are, you know, where I guess the dynamic does change because you have a longer time. Like for example, me and Mimi, like we've been together for a long time and we don't have any kids yet. So like the dynamic may change, you know, completely, you know. It's like, okay, we've had all of this time to ourselves and then it's like, you know, we have a child and it's like, you know.
That thing is crying. Like, can you do something?
Right.
That's definitely funny.
Right. So also, I guess my next question is like, which I mean, it's more of a parenting question, but I'm interested. So who can y'all say out of y'all's two? Oh, that was ghetto. Like, who's more of like the disciplinary for London, or who's more of like, you know, and just leave her alone?
I'm definitely more disciplined. Jake is like,
I spoil her.
And Jake is like too scared to hurt anybody's feelings. Like he just, I don't know. He definitely would never yell at London. So if she does anything bad and Jake is there, I
say, wait till your mama gets home.
Yeah.
You know what? I was gonna say, I think the reason why that is because she's a girl.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would be a little different if it was a boy, because it's like, I feel like as a man, like you can be more tough on boys than you can with girls. Like you have to kind of have to be gentle. It's different. Like for example, if London has a whole bunch of boy cousins and they're rough with her, it's totally different than if her father was, you know what I mean? Like, because like with you know what I mean? Like you had a whole bunch of boy cousins that were rough with you, and you see what I'm saying? Like,
and my papa was like, "Oh, leave her alone."
It's a different dynamic. All right, so do you find it difficult to do the things that you did in the beginning of your relationship now? Like, for example, dating or going out to the movies. Well, all right, so we're just going to pretend like Corona's not going on right now, okay? We're going to pretend, but I'm just saying, like, in general, even before this, like, the dynamic.
Not really. Just because, like, me and Jake don't really go out a lot. Like, if we do, it's just like out to eat and like maybe walking around, like taking a walk somewhere. But we've never been like the type of people to go out. So all the stuff that we did before London was here is things that we can still do while she's here. So I mean, it didn't really change. And then like now that we're back at home, like with my parents, that definitely helps a lot because then they're here, they can watch her. If we do just want like me and Jake's alone time, they'll always take London and watch us. So yeah, so I think it didn't really change at all. Even when we were still in Texas, like we took her out a lot.
I was actually gonna say, like, I freaking love your parents, Crissy, because the thing that I love about them that I feel like that anybody that has a relationship needs to mimic is the dating. You know, like you have to find time to have dates, even if like you know with Corona going on and stuff like that. You still have to find time, even if it's in the house. You know, we're gonna cook something and have our little alone time or whatever, and you have to find time to do that because if you don't, then life will kind of like pass you by, and then you'll look up and be like, "Dang, you know, do I even know this person?"
Right.
Like,
it's real.
Yeah.
Because they talk about like the divorce rate since this COVID has happened. is crazy. It's like people have been married to some people for 50,000 years, and they like, you know what? This is it.
Right. And now that they have time together, it's like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But luckily, like with quarantine, so me and Jake had made this office. So we've been doing like little things together. And then even in the office, like I kind of have my own space and Jake has his own space. Or like he'll come down here and I'll stay in our room and like do my own thing. So we still have our alone time, but we still spend time together too.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have both alone time and time together.
Yeah, absolutely.
If y'all are just together 24/7, you're bound to get tired.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody not gonna make it.
Well, see, like the thing is, that I love about that you said that is because you need to find time for yourself, like to because I feel like everybody is on a journey and you're constantly changing. And so if you don't take time to yourself to try to figure out what it is that, you know, those changes that you're going through, whether it's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever, like you have to learn how to understand yourself and to love yourself before you can love somebody else. So taking that time for yourself is very important. And I'm glad that you guys do that. And especially you guys take time together as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people have a misconception of a relationship. A lot of people feel like when you're in a relationship, like, oh, we finna do everything together. Like, we like Velcro. Like for instance, like so I had a friend in college, like she would get upset with her and her dude. Like he would be like, oh, I'm gonna come spend time with you tonight, but I'm gonna go play basketball with my friends. But, oh, so you don't wanna be with me? He just wants to play basketball. That's all he wanna do. He just wants to have his time. Like he's not saying that he's not gonna come see you. He just wants to have his homeboy time, or even if he was gonna play by himself. But like some people do, they just have this like mindset of, oh, I'm in a relationship. We're supposed to do everything together, like, and that's what it's gonna be. And it's like, no, it's okay.
Yeah. Like whenever Jake goes fishing, I never go. I don't like it. Like it's too hot outside, too many bugs, too humid. I don't like it. But Jake loves going fishing, so like that's his alone time.
Yeah.
And so when he's doing that, I just kind of stay in the house, do what I do.
But I will say one thing that's cool too, though. You at least tried what he liked. To say now that you don't like it, it's different. Than like, oh, I don't like it, and you've never been. You at least tried it. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm good.
But it may change though,
right? It might.
Because when London gets older, when London gets older, and she is curious, and she's like, hey, you know, Daddy's going fishing. I want to go. And then she gonna ask you to come with y'all. So
he already has like a little toy fishing rod.
Oh, guys!
and like a little bath time.
Yeah,
she loves it too.
So cute.
Yeah, that's cool.
She's gonna be a country girl. I don't care what y'all say. How do y'all find time to still have relationships with your friends, or find that time to hang out with other people?
Well, a lot of times because me and Jake don't really have like the same schedule. So a lot of times, like if I go out with my friends, I try to schedule it to where he's at work. That way, it's not like I'm leaving you when we actually have time together. Like I'm not gonna be there. So I try to plan it to where he'll be at work, and then I can go hang out with my friends. London can stay here with my mom, and then I hang out with them. And then like us just moving here just really doesn't have a lot of friends here. So
I mean, I've met a couple guys, like out and stuff, and like most of my coworkers. But all my friends from school and college, I talk to them every now and then. I just don't like get to hang out with them like I used to.
So, do you think being in a relationship changed the dynamic of the friendships that you guys have?
So in the very beginning, like when we first got together, it definitely did. Like we fell out with our friends right away, and it wasn't that like we were just paying attention to each other and not paying attention I think it was just like they didn't like just me and taking out in general, like other. Because if we would go somewhere and they weren't there, they kind of felt like that we were leaving them out. But we did try to do things together, like while we were with our friends, like invite them if we go somewhere. But just kind of, they weren't really like that receptive to it. Yeah, and they weren't supportive at all. So after a while, like we kind of noticed that they weren't supportive, so we kind of just cut them off. We like kind of once we felt like they weren't being supportive, that's when we were like, okay, I think we just need to let it go. But at the end of the day, I think it was good for us because we kind of got the negative energy out. And like the friends that I have now, they love Jake.
I love Crissy.
So I think that we have a good group of friends that are supportive, and even if they may not like themselves in relationships right now, they're still understanding. Like, oh, if I say like, hey, like I don't think I can go today, like me and Jake already have something planned. They're not like, oh, so you can hang out with Jake, but you can't hang out with us. Like, yeah, they're just like, okay, cool, we'll just reschedule.
Yeah, that's legit. Because when we got married, I swear. It does stink because like you not really grow up with these, but you like literally built a relationship with these people. So like some of my friends from college and high school and all that, like a lot of them, like we're still cool to where we'll talk and check on each other. But far as like, oh hey girl, let's go have lunch. No, like we don't do that anymore, or even do that because it's like my mentality of marriage is, or just being in a relationship, it's not like I don't want to spend time with you, but it's like my focus is with him. So it's like if we're not doing anything together and we've consulted with each other, like, okay, well, we're not gonna do anything together, you can go hang with your friends, cool. It's not a problem. But I'm not fixing to like, hey, you I'm sorry about our date. I'm gonna go hang with my friends. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And like some people don't understand it. And it's, it is what it is. It stinks to let those friends go, but you'll meet new ones.
Yeah. It does make you have a good group of friends, though.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely important. I will say that when you're in a relationship, to have other friends or family members around you that are married or in a relationship, which is kind of like crazy because like I'm like the second to last of like the grandkids from my grandmother, and like all of us got married like right back to back to back, and it's like, and we're so close, and the cool thing is that we talk to each other about these things, and I love it because like to be able to look up to my older cousins or siblings, to ask them questions or to use them as an example is a great way for me to know how to move in my relationship. Not to say that we're going to do everything that they did, but to have an example and to have somebody to relate to. And so I feel like that's real important.
Big time.
Yeah, like a lot of the friends that I have now aren't in relationships, but a lot of them have been in like long-term relationships. So even though they may not be experiencing like what I'm experiencing right now, they still have experienced it or have experienced something similar. So it's nice to be able to talk to them about things. And like if I just need to rant to them about something that Jake's doing that's irritating me, like they're not gonna be like, oh, you need to break up with him. Like, they'll let me rant, and then they'll be like, yeah, Jake is dumb, but what are y'all doing later? Like,
right. Yep. And you have to have those friends. Like it is like, I don't know. And another thing too that me and Corey ran into it kind of at the beginning of our marriage, but like not only just having friends that are married or in a relationship, but having positive, like people that are in a positive relationship, because we found out with some stuff, like these people in a relationship, but they don't even like each other, and we didn't know. until we were there in it. And it's like, wait, what? Hold on. We've been talking about stuff and this is what's going on. Hold on.
And even like one of the things that I know is that like being in a relationship just in general it can get frustrating only for the simple fact like you both are your own individuals.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that. And it's like when you like engage in other groups, where it's like another couple, they have their own two personalities too. So you're not gonna always click with them anyways. But the thing is that I found that it's okay for me to hang out with some of my single friends because the thing is that you don't have to cut people off. It's just that at certain times you have to learn how to be mature enough to engage with certain people in to a certain capacity. Because obviously they may do things that single people do that you can't engage with, but you have to be mature enough to, deal with those people. And I mean, it takes time. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight. I know that we've had issues in our relationship and we've had to overcome those things. And I mean, if it wasn't for the trials and tribulations that we went through, we wouldn't be here today in this relationship. So it's like you have to be mature enough to go through things and then, make it out on the other end. So here's a cool question. If you had financial concerns, how do you bring those up in conversation without causing issues?
Jake just be quiet and
Me and Jake are a lot alike.
He's always right. So I think it's smart out of two of us. And because I feel like we're at like a time where like I'm starting to make a bit more money. And my job's consistent, and into the relationship, Chris has credit card debt.
Yeah.
And so we're still trying to pay some of it off.
A
lot of it. We're still trying to pay some of it off. And I like to buy gadgets and cool stuff. And
buy if his account says like he has money, he wants to spend it until it says $0. And and like I do like to spend money, but not all of it. Like it's like, okay, I'm not paying that much for this. Like, no way.
Yeah.
And Jake is the complete opposite. He's like, if it costs more, it's probably better. So get the one that costs more.
Yeah. I get it. Hey, Jake, I get you.
Yeah.
But I understand. Like, I think the best way to deal with certain situations like that, I'll say from our experience, is that if you're dealing with financial things or whatever the case is, we've learned that over time, I hate using the word allowance because it just seems like, hey, like you're only able to use it. You know what I mean? And it's not that. But the thing is it's like, okay, if we have, let's just say $1,000 in the account, and it's like, okay, this is our main account, but here's $100 that you could use or whatever you want to use. I'm not gonna ask any questions. And here's $100 that I could use, and you can't ask no questions. And then that way, whatever money's left, if it's $800 that's left, then that money is used for what we have as family goals outside of the bills. So, and I feel like that's helped us through those issues to overcome certain things. Because like she may want to buy something stupid, and I can't get mad at her. And it's like, and it's just that simple. Like sometimes as human beings, we want to buy some of the most like ignorant things. And it just doesn't make sense. Like why do I need to buy this $500 hairbrush? It may be just something that retarded. I know that.
Y'all, I stayed up one night. I used to have infomercials on the like late at night when people supposed to be sleeping. Y'all, I bought a grill. And Corey was like, I was like, but babe, they said it worked in the house. You don't have to go outside. You can just use
That's definitely something Jake would do.
Yeah, that was-
Let's see, how many times have you used it though? Is the question. Because you spend $50 on this thing and then you only use it once.
Honestly, I really don't even know where it is right now. I couldn't tell you.
Exactly.
It's so I literally saw that and I was like, I have to have it. And I got it and I didn't say nothing and it showed up at the house and Corey was like, what is this? And I was like, okay. So then I tried to sell it to him. It didn't work. But whatever.
Man, I mean, but that's the premise about it, because if like financial issues are the biggest cause of breakups and divorce and things like that. And if you guys, not to say that you guys have issues, but if anybody is going through any issues financially, it's worth discussing that to try to figure out a means to come to an agreement so that you guys don't end up like that. Because like if there's a way to be happy financially, like let's find a way to be happy within our circumstances, because I don't like to I feel like arguing about money is so petty to me. Like because it's like it's
That's
here today is gone tomorrow.
at the beginning. Like at the beginning,
Well, beginning of quarantine.
at the beginning of quarantine, both of us, neither of us were working. And so, like, we literally had no income, and we just had moved. So we spent like all of the money that we had saved up on moving, and so we literally had like no money at all. And it was like I think it was just frustrating in general, and we kind of took that out on each other. But then once we like started working again and getting income again, it definitely helped. So I do see how like finances can affect a relationship. But with us, like once we finally have money coming in, I think because of the spot that we were in before, we were better about managing our money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I think that definitely helped because before we were just kind of spending it. Like if we had it, we just spent it, and then I would get frustrated, and then he would just then I'm taking it out on him, and so then that like messes things up. And so I think now that we had that experience, that we're better about saving, I think I feel more like comfortable with where we're at. And so in turn that has kind of helped our relationship a lot. So
You saving a lot more money.
yeah. So yeah. And we
So
how much we're saving.
yeah. I was actually gonna ask like a sidebar question. So obviously we know that having a child does change things. So how has it changed financially, like with the responsibilities pertaining to London?
So it really like not as much as I thought it would. Just because for us like being so young and then like not really having the same income as somebody else that's older than us would be at, like we definitely have access to a lot of resources that do make it a lot easier for us. So I think that if we didn't have the resources, it would be very, very hard. But because we kind of like sought those out and we're taking advantage of those, not taking advantage, but using those resources, that it has helped a lot. So I don't like it. I spoil London though, so I like to buy like unnecessary things for her. Like anytime we go to Target, I'm always buying clothes, like
socks.
yeah,
Every time we go, we buy
socks.
socks. And she only wears socks like once a week.
Hey, baby socks are like the easiest thing to lose. I don't know what it is, but it's like the dryer eats them up or something. I don't know. They just disappear into thin air.
And then she likes to kick her feet a lot, so they always end up slipping off. So then I'll find one, not the other one. So that's why I always buy socks because like, you can never have too many socks for baby.
Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, we buy a lot of unnecessary stuff for London. So, I mean, that's money that we spend a lot. But other than that, like, it really hasn't been terrible for us.
And since it was our first baby, like our family's just been great. Like,
Yeah.
everybody got diapers.
Yeah, like,
everybody got
we-
clothes.
She just turned 6 months. And so this was the first time that we had to buy diapers. Like, from friends and family, we've had enough diapers to last her 6 months.
That is
Wow,
legit.
yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah. So family definitely helped. Like, we had pretty much like everything that we needed from the baby shower. Like, we got car seat, stroller, crib, like everything that we needed we got from our family. So I think if it wasn't for our family, honestly, we would probably not be in the position that we're in.
That's good though.
I think beforehand I was very stubborn and I kind of wanted to do it on our own. I realized that us asking for help when we needed it, or asking parents or my parents for like, what should I do here? I just wanted the best thing for us to grow together as parents, because they've been through it all.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. And that actually falls into our next question. That's into who do y'all like take advice from? Is there like one particular person, or is there like, just bounce ideas from different people?
Couples.
It really kind of depends on what it is.
Okay.
If it's like more serious things, we definitely ask Jake's dad.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say
Jake's
after
dad
that.
is like our go-to
Yeah,
person.
if I'm going through something, if we're struggling, if I have a question about London, if I'm just feeling bad or something, the
Yeah.
first person I call is my dad.
Uh-huh.
So he's there for us
Mhm.
so much. And the first time he met Crissy, he looked at me and said, "That girl is way too smart for you." So,
And so that's when I like it.
so he's been great for us. It's been a huge help.
Yeah, so Jake's dad is definitely like our go-to person for more serious things. And like sometimes I go to like my mom, but that's kind of like how me and my mom's relationship has been like since I went away to college. Like, I would talk to her like every single day. So she just like she kind of always knows what's going on. So even if I don't necessarily like go to her for advice, it ends up being that. So
Yeah.
so my mom, and then like just not silly things, but like just relationship things that aren't like super serious. I just like go to my friends and talk to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we go to a lot of different people.
Right.
This is like our golden question. We've asked this like everybody.
gets asked this question.
So, how important is it for you to have the support of family, friends, and community support throughout your relationship?
So for our relationship, especially just because we had a child like so early in our relationship, it's really been like the three of us, like me, Jake and London. So as far as like support from the people around us, it's been like it's been probably the thing that has been saving us like all the time. Is like my friends, and like even one of my friends' parents, when I was still in Texas, obviously my parents weren't there. And one of my friends' mom, like I would go to her for everything. And she worked at my school. So I would literally always be in her office. Like, even once I had London, I was still going on campus just to talk to her. So yeah, so having her there definitely helped. And like she was there when I was applying to school and like stressed out from just being in school and applying to graduate school. Like I was super stressed out, and she was there like, if you just need to come to my office to take a nap. Like I think that definitely helped her, helping me manage my stress, in turn helped me and Jake's relationship, because now instead of just being stressed and being angry and taking it out on Jake, I had a different outlet that I can kind of calm myself down. Then when I'm home, I can just be happy and spend time with Jake and do whatever. So, and then like our parents have been super supportive of our relationship, like from the beginning. And even like family, we like the first week we were together, we went up to Austin, and that was great. Like, and then after we went to Jake's family, and they were great. And so I think just being able to be comfortable with the people that we have in our lives that are important to us, like being comfortable with them and being comfortable with each other's family, I think that's definitely helped our relationship a lot.
I think that we both like middle parents raised in high school and college, trying to figure ourselves out. And I think that I knew that when we got together, that you had this strong sense of family. And my parents were divorced, and we had I had to like not say my dad was strong, but it's a little broken. And I think that since us being together, I've wanted that sense of family with you. And I feel like I've been trying to do that to rebuild that with my parents, my brother, and the grandparents I've left. I mean, I'm really trying to come back to rebuild with them and a good relationship with our family. I think it's really important to us. And I think it took for me to get together with Chris for me to really understand our family right.
It's like they were like just meant to. It's like they just were supposed to be.
Yeah, because like the thing is like I will say from personal experience, I know that our family is always like it's like a double-edged sword because you kind of have some people who like come in kind of like kind of controlling, and then there's others that are like super supportive. And I know like I'll say from my family and things like that, like that when we first met Jake, it was just like I mean he just felt right for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just seemed like he fit right in. We didn't have any issues. Like we had, I mean, we had, we had like conversations and stuff. I mean, we always kicked it with you guys, and it was never an issue where if you guys needed us for something or whatever, like we're family. So I just love the fact that we are open like that to where we can conversate, and I really appreciate you guys because even when I reached out to Jake and he was like, "Oh yeah, we'll set this up. There's no problem." Like, it's just cool how the dynamic that we have. I just love that.
And I know the fact too, like, and I know I get it. I'm married into the family too, but it's like I don't know. I feel like the first time I met Jake, like I felt like y'all were supposed to be together because, like, I don't know. Sometimes you get a feeling from some people where they trying to be like, oh, this girl is great, so I'm gonna try to be this other person that she wants me to be. Like, it's like, no, this is Jake. This is what you're getting. Like, I ain't trying to be nobody else. Like, this is me. So, like, I don't know. He just has that comfortable, I don't know, feeling. And it could be because you're from Houston too,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just felt always like when I first met Jake, I was like, okay, I'm with it.
I appreciate that.
So real quick before I let her do her final question, I wanted to ask about, like, you had touched on it earlier about how you guys have different work schedules and things like that, and then just the fact that with schooling and work and then family time, how do y'all manage like all of those things?
So before, like when I was still in school, and so I was in school and working, and then Jake was working 2 jobs. So during that time, like we barely had any time together because days that he was actually like off, he was tired because he would be working like 18 hours a day. So like we didn't really do a lot, which it it did kind of affect our relationship, but not like extremely. Yeah, like we got through it. Like it wasn't obviously the best circumstance, but we made it work. And
Pregnancy hormones.
yeah, and
Me not
pregnancy
being around
hormones
during
too.
the day.
Yeah,
All that.
yeah,
I mean, when it came down to it, at the end of the day, like we had to wake up with each other.
yeah.
That's really all we could ask.
Yeah, and then after December, that's when like I was done with school, and then London was here, and so I was really just staying at home with London. And then Jake, instead of working 2 jobs, he was just working one. That way he can spend more time with us. And so that definitely helped because we got to do a lot of things together, like as a family, and like we would always go out to eat and like take London on little walks, and it was really good, yeah. And then now, like obviously with quarantine, there's not really much that we can do, but like our schedules, I work like 3 to 4 days a week. Same with Jake, he works like 3 to 4 days a week. So it works out because we don't work extremely long hours. So once we get home, like we'll eat together, we'll watch something on TV really quick and then go to sleep. Or days that we do have off, like we'll just kind of like watch some TV together in the morning. We'll come down here. Jake will do some stuff for his fishing. I'll be just in the office doing whatever I'm doing. So we find time together, and it's not always like planned time where we're like, oh, like you're off today, I'm off today, let's go out and do this. It's more like, oh, we're both off, like let's just hang out and binge watch so, so I think it's important to have both like planned time and unplanned time together, because sometimes like you just want to be lazy together, like you don't want to do something together all day every day, like you just want to be able to relax but still be together.
Yeah, like me and Corey literally have our days. Like we'll literally, and granted, like working on business stuff and all that. I mean, it does. It gets stressful or whatever. But there are days where we will literally sleep, or not even really sleep, just lay in the bed. And once we get out of bed, it's like, oh, it's time to go back to sleep. Like, okay, but like it was literally unplanned. There was nothing that we absolutely needed to do, and it's just like we're spending time together, but we're not like having to do something. It's just like, you good? Okay, I'm good. Let's just chill. Like, and it's perfect. It works.
I feel like quarantine has actually kind of been good for us because because like we have been able to spend like more time together, like just talking to each other and not necessarily like let's go out and do this and like talk about what we're seeing and what other people are doing. It's like let's just talk about us and we're enjoying it and everything. So I think it's been really good.
And I feel like I got more time with London.
Yeah, that was a big thing too. Like, if it wasn't for quarantine, like my parents wouldn't have as much time with London. My sisters, I wouldn't have as much time with London. Definitely Jake. So I think everything really like worked out in a positive way for us.
I feel like every kind of there's like this kind of relay during the day where we pass on and off like a like baton, and everybody gets like and then right around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, I get her, and I get the bedtime. I get to give her a bath, and then I get to read to her. I take, and I'm usually on dad duty tonight, so she wakes up with her, which has just been awesome. Just to be able to wake up with her and hold her and just put her back to sleep. And so, Crissy also does that from time to time, but like it's my thing.
I wake up with her in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning.
And so, like, I feel like if I'm up with her at 6 o'clock in the morning and like staying up with her during the day, that I deserve to sleep. So that's why.
That's I love that time with her. So.
Look, long as y'all got a schedule, y'all worked it out. It works for y'all. Oh goodness. All right, so this is a question probably everyone is asking, but we're just gonna ask it and be done with it. Has this whole Black Lives Matter affected y'all's relationship? Has it helped the relationship as far as different understandings or whatever? Like, how has it been for y'all?
In the beginning, like of all of this happening, I do think like it kind of affected us in a negative way because like I felt way about it and Jake wasn't necessarily against it or for it. He was just kind of Jake, like it had nothing to do with him, so he was just kind of out of it. And so for me, just like him not having opinion, that did affect like kind of how I viewed him. And so, but I think instead of like getting mad at him, I just was like, okay, maybe you should watch this or maybe we should talk about this together. So instead of like attacking him for it, I was just like, look, like, let me show you this video. Let me show you this movie. Let's watch this movie together. Like, let's learn about it first. And then like if you're still neutral after that, then yeah, I have a right to be mad at you. But I couldn't be mad at him because he doesn't know. Like that's not something that he's grown up with, so I can't hold him to the same standard. And but I think now that Jake knows more, it's definitely I think helped our relationship because I feel like now he's a little more understanding of things. And so like even in the like when I was pregnant and still didn't know if London was a boy or a girl, that's when They See Us had came out. And so like I watched that and I was like, dude, if we have a boy, like I can't deal with this. Like I was so stressed out from that. And so it was like I felt a certain way about it, and then I felt like Jake like just did not understand at all. He was like, "Well, if you just teach him to do the right thing, like we won't have to worry about this." I'm like, Jake, that's like not how we could teach him all the right things. Like he could act the way you're supposed to act, and stuff like this can still happen. And I think at that time, Jake was just like, okay, whatever, like whatever. And so I think now that this has happened, it's given us the opportunity to talk about that more and learn from each other.
So I do agree with Chris. I think I was very, very clueless on what was going on, if that makes sense. Because I grew up, I ran track. I was a part of I was talking to Crissy about the other day. I was a part of the track club. I was like one of the only white kids in the track team, like three of us. And it was like and there were like two people on the track team. And so my best friends in high school and we're black, and I feel like, and I dated a lot of black girls throughout high school, and I just it didn't register that like because I'm white because you're black that we're different, and I feel like that was just me just being clueless and not like looking at what's going on in the world. And I felt like when me and Chris got together, he's done since day one has been an advocate, has educated me, and has kind of like taught me because I mean I'm obviously white and growing up like we didn't have a conversation about what we want to college or we don't have like a conversation about all that kind of stuff because at the end of the day we're just treated differently. I didn't really fully understand it, so what was going on in the world. And when all this stuff started coming around, Crissy did her best to educate me, inform me, and make me like a more of a woke member of society. And I feel like that was helpful in a way where nothing words can describe. At the end of the day, people aren't being treated. I think that without Chrissy's help, I think I'd have been clueless. I feel like a lot of people, my coach, and being white, they're clueless and they don't know what's going on. They don't know how to feel about it because
it doesn't resonate.
It doesn't
the same
resonate
way.
with them. That's the thing. And so when Chris has all this stuff going on, and she sees something huge, it's not like, oh well, this is going on. Like, what if
This could
I'm
happen.
next? What if TJ, my dad's next? What if like some of my family's next? And when she can relate to something like that, it resonates with her as a person. It's not. It does. They don't look like me. It's hard to resonate. but being with you since this happened in London, I mean, it's it's definitely been hits home more. 'Cause this is the reality,
Yeah.
and
And with all of this stuff going on my way to work, I got pulled over twice, like within 3 days. Yeah, and like I think that was also something like significant that kind of helped Jake because like when I
oh yeah,
called him, like yeah,
I
when
went
I
off
called
on
him,
her.
I was like, hey, I just got pulled over because I was speeding. He was like, are you serious? Like, why did you do that? And blah blah. Because he was like, you've been seeing all this stuff, like you know what could happen. Like, why would you do that? So I think that with all of this happening and then me putting or getting put into a situation that could end up like the things that we're seeing, I think that definitely like had an impact on Jake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think it's been
So
something really. It's definitely not something you want to learn about, but I feel like it's something that you need to learn about, and talk about, and we have the hard conversations about.
yeah,
And I feel like every day I'm learning, from you, and,
yeah.
which is great. Because I need to learn more,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I can help people who are not in the same shoes as we are,
Yeah.
help them understand more. So, which has been cool.
And I think that's a big thing. It's like it's not that people don't care about it, but like you were saying, a lot of people just they don't know. That's
You know,
literally what it is.
yeah,
So and I can say for us, okay, as a black person, okay, there's a lot of things that I don't know far as black stuff too, but there's a lot of stuff like it's literally like the people you hang around. Like for
Mhm.
instance, I've talked to a lot of people or know a lot of people that have come into contact with all this stuff with the police and all that. They've gotten like racial slurs and all, but like me personally, I in my life have never had any. I didn't even like. I guess I mean I'm not saying that it's based on how you're raised. I can't say that, but I'll say like with my family, like I didn't know color, so it was like I didn't understand the whole fact of like when people would say, "Oh, my kids don't play with these kids because these kids don't like them," and it's like. I don't know that because me personally, and I hope I never do experience that. But it's like I don't know. I didn't know what was outside of my circle because I just didn't know. This is the circle that I was with. So I don't know what's going on in your circle. Like I don't know. So it's like honestly a lot of this stuff is new to me too. Like so it's like yeah, I know of black history, but I know school black history or whatever.
Right.
But like I don't know like the unwritten or untalked about stuff. So a lot of stuff I'm learning too. And I just feel like that's like the biggest thing that everybody doesn't understand. It's like it's okay, or I get that it's frustrating the whole thing that's going on, but it's also frustrating for people who legit don't really know, like
Mhm.
legit don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
people
I
on
think
both sides. That I feel like that's the part that I forgot this video that came out. I think last year, or the year before last, with I can't think of the guy's name right now, but it was a video with it was a black guy and a white guy in the video. It was a music video, and they were
yeah,
talking from
I think
different
you're
point of
talking
views.
about.
I forgot what it's called right now, but basically it's like you dislike somebody because you don't understand.
Mhm.
And,
yeah,
and I feel like the thing is that in the world that we live in, I mean, you I don't understand my spouse sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So how can and I mean that's just being honest, you
Yeah.
know. So how can I be upset at somebody else if I don't understand them? You see what I'm saying? And I feel like instead of um being aggressive about it, if people took the time to understand from the other person's point of view, it would
Mhm.
be a way a way we can get past this as a nation, as a community, all of that good stuff. But it's not enough people that want to understand, you know,
Yeah,
and
and
that's
that's
the
the
issue.
big thing. Like, if so many resources out there, but you can't force
forcing.
people to learn. something that they don't want to learn. And like, even like, I noticed even in myself. So like, when I was in high school, like, I mostly hung out with white kids. So I didn't know a lot of things. Like, yeah, like my best friend was white. Like, I didn't know anything outside of that. It was just like, well, my friend's white and she treats me fine. So like, what are y'all talking about?
Yes.
So yeah, so like in high school, I definitely like didn't understand at all. Like, and like even with all this stuff, like with the police and everything, I was just one of those people that like, oh, if they just did what the police said, then nothing would happen. But then once I got to college, like I definitely like had a wake up call because it was a completely different environment. And then there were like things that were going on at the school too. At the time that I had went there, like we had a blackface incident, and like yeah, at my school, my first year that I was there for Halloween. So that's like the beginning of when I'm there, my first semester. And so then I was like, wait, like, why would somebody even think this was okay? Like, the kids at my school know that's not right. And so going somewhere that somebody actually did think it was acceptable, it was like, wow, like people are really out here like that.
Yeah.
And so, oh yeah, and then like I had my own incidents at my school. Like I had someone a white kid argue with me over saying the N-word, and that ended up backfiring on me because my university put me on probation instead of the other student because I posted the video online, and they said that I was like putting the other kids' safety at risk. So yeah, I ended up being put on probation. And then like even in the honors program at my school, like I had incidents with the director like basically calling black people lazy when I told her that I wanted to like increase the black population in our program because I was only one of 3 black students that were in our program, and it was like over 100 of us in the program. Yeah, and so kind of after having my own experiences, that's when I kind of like started to do more research, and it definitely like changed my entire mindset about everything. So I feel like because I used to understand where those people were coming from that like, well, like if they just act right or like whatever they say, like I try my hardest to be patient, but it does come to a point. It's like you don't even want to learn. So why am I even sitting up here having a conversation with you?
Right.
Like
Yep.
it's just a waste of time.
Yep.
So that's been one good thing about Jake though, is that he definitely is willing to learn.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And that's cool. I feel like that's where everybody should be. Like, and that's not even just for the whole Black Lives Matters things. It's literally for everything. If there's something you don't know, that's the whole point of school. You don't know something, you go get educated. Now you do. So it's like
even Google, you have your phone on you at all times. Like all you have to do is just look it up, and it's right there for you.
For real. Yep.
So really, like people not knowing it's not even that like they don't have the resources. Like you literally have the resources in front of you. You just have to actually put in the effort to do it.
Yep.
So,
and I get the point of some people too. Some people don't want to know because like truth hurts, like for real. So there are some people even if they do know, some people that don't know, they don't want to learn because like what if it is true that this really happened? I mean, it is what it is, but I feel like once you learn and now you know, like it's your duty to do better. Like you have to do better. There's no choice. So, I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully the world will learn.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need change. We definitely need change.
Really.
Well, we want to thank you guys once again for joining us. And I do want to say the whole premise behind these videos, these straight up conversations, is for us to have these conversations and publish them so that people can take from this information and hopefully learn something. So we're hoping that whoever's watching this learned something from these videos and they were able to help you in any way, shape, or form. That being said, we love you, ET Squad, and we want you guys to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and just share the information, especially if you feel like this can help somebody else. We love you guys. We'll see you guys on the next video.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.